Hey everyone, it's Prophet from Lightning Rock. I'm here today to show you how to get started with our developer tool, Rocklog. So for this demo, I'm using the Mecanum example scenes from the Unity store. So I'm going to be installing Rocklog today manually. However, in most cases, you'll be importing it from the asset store directly. So I'm just going to double click on the Rocklog package here, and it will open up the import asset window in Unity. And I just click import. Okay, so then I restart Unity and the editor should load Rocklog. So now that we're back up, you should notice that there is now a Rocklog menu option in your toolbar just over here. So to start, for Rocklog to work, we need to add the Rocklog game object into your scene. The simplest way to do this is by clicking here on Rocklog and selecting Add Rocklog Object to Scene. However, you can actually achieve the same thing just by dragging in the prefab from your assets. So just remember that for each individual scene, it actually needs to have the Rocklog object in it. Okay, so now your scene has the Rocklog object in it. If you select the Rocklog object, you can actually change a few things. So like the port that the log is going to be available on. So this is going to be handy if you have any firewall issues or if you're already using that port for any other functions. You can also tell Rocklog whether you want to capture the built-in Unity log messages. So this might be useful if you just want to track your own logs and not use the Unity ones. Okay, so now let's play our scene and have a look at the log. So now the scene is running, head up to the Rocklog toolbar and select Open Log in Browser. Alternatively, just in your browser, open up, put in localhost and the port number /index.html. So if you want to log a game from another device, such as a smartphone or a tablet, then just enter the IP address of that device and then the Rocklog port /index.html. So for more detailed information on making this happen, just please head over to lightningrock.com and take a look at our user documentation. Okay, so now here is the Rocklog reporting screen over in our web browser. So at the moment you can see it's not really reporting much thing. That's because you don't actually have any errors in the game and we haven't added any debug messages. So what you'll notice first up to start, see up here this little light, the light is currently green. So if it's green, it basically means that your Rocklog is connected to an active scene. However, it's not connected to an active scene, then it will just be red. So one thing to note is that Rocklog will actually stay active in your browser and it's going to remember where you're up to if you do actually stop the scene. So you don't need to actually refresh your browser, you don't need to restart it every time you're clicking play and stop and play again. Okay, so let's start using the log system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a script just here. And what I'm going to do is just start adding some things into log. So to make life a little easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the Rocklog namespace here at the top of my script. And I'm going to add using Rocklog. Okay, so down here is the bit of code that specifies where the bear in this little Mecanum thing is trying to go. So I want to know what I asked the bear when he to go somewhere, where he's going to go, and where that somewhere is. So I go down here and I type rock.log, move the bear to X, agent destination X and Y, agent destination Y. Okay. We then switch back to Unity. And when we play our scene and click over here, you can see in the log we've made a log entry of move the bear to X and Y. Great. Okay, so look, that's the core aspect of integrating Rocklog into your scripts. However, most of the time, you're going to have a lot of logs. So what you're going to want to do is start by putting them into different categories. So you can actually focus on the particular logs and entries that you want to focus on. So what I'm going to do is add another log here, which says the bear will go no further. And I'm going to put it into the category bear movement. Okay. So when I go back to testing, we can see the new logs, but it's only if I want to see the bear movement entries. I turn off all the other categories by clicking on them. And now I've just seen the bear movement log entries. Okay, so to bring everything back on, I just go over here Click Show All. Okay, so what we can also do is change and categorize the severity of each log. So basically that's another category that you can now filter it by. So I'm just going to go in here, and what I'm going to do is change this log to a log entry type info. There we go, log type info. So when we go back into the editor, play our scene and make our bear run around for a bit. So we can see over here the icon next to the entry has now changed, and it's letting us know that it's a log of type info. You can also use this drop down box just up over here, and you can filter the detail of the list. So basically it will only show all logs of the selected severity type and above. Just remember, you can also search your log categories using a text search. So I could just search by the word to, and it filters all the results just to show the entries with the word to in it. Great, okay, so that's the basics of implementing Rocklog into your project. So let's take a look at some of the fancier stuff. So over here is watch variables. So this allows us to keep an eye on the different values as they change in real time. So what I want to check first is the speed of my little bear here. So first, I need to go over and make the speed a private variable. So that means that Rocklog can actually get at it. So up in start, I type rock.addWatch, the label name, bear speed, then the word this. So Rocklog looks in the object for the variable, and then the variable name itself, which in this case is speed. Okay, now because this scene, this Mecanum scene, it's got some funny hard coding, what I actually need to do is just alter this little bit of code here. So you shouldn't actually need to do this with your own variables. Okay, so we play our scene again and click a few locations for our bear to run to. And voila, you can now see the speed variable here in our watch variable window. So the bear runs, the speed variable goes up to 5 at max speed, and then back down to 0 when he stops. Okay, so one of the cool features you can do with your Rocklog is you can actually now chart these watch variables that you've put in here. So over here, we just click this little plus sign, and down the bottom, you can see you've now got a live chart of the variable as your program plays. So here we go, we're running the little bear around, you can see the chart spiking up and down, and his movement goes up and down. Pretty cool. Okay, so watching one thing is great, but sometimes what you're going to want to do is watch a whole lot of numbers from an object, like a transform. Okay, so we can add recursion onto a watch. So because there's something a little bit funny about transforms, I'm going to declare my own transform called bear transform, and then I'm going to stuff the transform we all know and love into it. There we go. And then we create our watch like before, but at the end here, I'm going to put a recurse.true. This tells Rocklog to look into the transform and get all of that data. So we'll fire up our bear again, and we can see in our watch variables that we have an error. Okay, which means I've done something wrong somewhere. This is actually a good opportunity to go take another look at my code. So what I can do is over here, I can drop down and I can use the go to line feature. So just click on the error, expand the stack trace, and here is the go to line. It then goes back to Visual Studio and the appropriate script should be open, and the cursor will be at the line that threw the error. So this actually only works with Visual Studio at this point. Okay, so what I've done here is I've spelt it bear transform. So I fix that and I go back to testing our transform watch variable. So you can see from here already why Rocklog will be a very useful tool. So we can see in our watch variable that there is a bear transform with all the transform information below it and with all the values changing as they are changing in the game. So these recursive watch variables are collapsible. So if you have a few, you won't get lost, and you can always tell what values belong to what objects. All right, so the last cool feature I'm going to show you is how to insert screenshots into your logs. So what I want to do is I actually want to include a screenshot of what the player's seeing at the moment that the bear decides to stop, and then basically dump that screenshot into our log. Okay, so right here, where the bear starts coming to a halt, going to type rock.screenshot. Okay, so we start the scene again, start running around with that little bear, we're stopping and we're starting. Okay, so let's head over into our log and see what we've got. Okay, open this up, and there you go. You can see your screenshots, which is what the player was seeing at each particular point that the bear was actually stopping. Alright, so look, that's a quick overview of the primary features and how to actually use Rocklog in your program and scenes. So if you need any more or detailed information, look, just head over to our website at lightningrock.com and look through our various docs and forums. Alternatively, you can also check us out at the Unity forums where you'll find some more information. So that's it from me for now. Thanks everyone for listening, but I'd really encourage everyone to make sure you keep an eye out for lightningrock.com and see all the different games and tools we've got in development and heading your way soon. Thanks everyone.